There's a ton of business gurus out there who's going to tell you this is the best business to get rich quick with. And I'm not here to tell you that. I'm going to tell you a business that you can build real wealth starting as a part-time gig. And I'm going to even show you somebody who's doing it right now besides myself. All right, but let's take a look at it. There's a great magazine called Entrepreneur Magazine. At least I thought it was a great magazine. I used to read it like the Bible. I have always been an entrepreneur at heart. And they came out with, yet again, their top 101 business ideas to start your own business in 2026. Here's their list right now. Number 1, accounting and tax services. Okay, it's a good business. A business consulting, a good work if you can get it. Financial planning. Business by a franchise, that's interesting. Notary public service, okay. General construction, that's good. Landscaping, that's a great business. House painting, there's always a good work out there painting. Carpentry, I started as a carpenter. Electrical work, I've been saying for years on my other channel, The Dental Tools, that electrician is probably one of the best trades to get into that is really going to pay off in the long run. But, let's keep looking at it. Moving services, content editing, graphic design, web development. We can go through these more and more and more, but you'll notice a trend with all these. They're not exactly businesses now, are they? They're trading your work, your time for money. And when you trade time for money, that's just a job. Okay, now can you grow them into a business? Can you hire more people? Sure, anything can be turned into a business usually at some point. There's some out there where you really can't do it. And I've been involved in a few of those in my life. That's how I learned to identify it. Was really what I've got, even though I've successfully built this, is I've built my own job. And unless you can go to sleep and make money, then it really isn't a business. Well, that's where this comes into. And it goes way back to like my first days in college. The communist chapter or whatever was in the square trying to proselytize to all the new students. And I remember the guy up there and he was talking about there's 2 types of people in the world. There's those who own the means of production and those who work for them. And everyone else was like, yes, let's be part of the proletariat and blah, blah. And me, I heard it as, so you should own the means for production. That's just plain and simple. It's right there. You just told me how to do it. And that's always stuck in my head. And that's where 3D printing becomes just like it's where the new world of AI and technology and the death of gatekeepers, and I've talked about the death of gatekeepers before, and I can do another video on it if you want to hear about my philosophy on the death of gatekeepers. But gatekeepers are people like editors and stuff like that, people who are, you've got something, and they're like, you know what, I don't think we're going to buy it, and you can't publish it or produce it or sell it to all these people unless you go through me because I'm the gatekeeper. But that's all dead now. 3D printing means I can, and stores like Etsy and Shopify and eBay and craft fairs, I just walk right past the gatekeeper. He came to hear a thing they're saying, and I make my own stuff. And that's where 3D printing comes in. Now, I promised I would show you somebody who's doing this right now, besides myself and some of the other people we've talked about and such. There is this woman that I met this weekend. I was at the local gun show, and as I am wont to do, and I was perusing around, and I looked over, and I saw this little tree of baubles and stuff on it, and I'm like, oh, look, 3D printed junk, yay. And then I saw the rest of the table, and I went, oh my, she's doing so much more than that. I give you thinking inside the box. Yes, she's making boxes. But not just any kind of boxes. She's making these for Mission Freedom ammunition. All right, this is ammunition. It's a really nice box. It's a 3-color box. Actually, it's only 3-color in the lid, so you can do the rest of it separately. So only the lid's 3-color. Now, I was looking for some ammunition. This just happened to work out because I need some. I was buying some for my son. This is bear ammunition. For those of you who don't know, I live in. Let me get this behind. I live in Montana. And in Montana, we have bears. Actually, we got a lot of them. And you need a special kind of ammunition to deal with them if you want to come out the other side alive. And she is making these boxes. She was sharing the table. She was making these boxes, and she told me all about her business. I'm going to tell you all the details and stuff. And she doesn't mind me sharing them. I asked her, I talked to her about it. Listen to that snap. This is a solid box, okay? Where I'm going to tell you the machines that she makes it on and how she does it and everything. But she's selling 100 of these a week to her friend or the guy she met who's doing the ammunition business. Imagine if you started your own little business, and she started, hasn't even been a year yet. She started, I think she said July of last year. She's got very little social media understanding. She has very little marketing understanding, but she did understand that she had a skill and she could market around to certain businesses and find businesses where she could market that skill. And that's where she came up with this. This whole front is 3D printed except for the sticker here for each different ammo. He just throws a different sticker on it, keeps the same box for it. Because, you could use this for hollow points, you could use this for regular, you could use it for the bear rounds, you could use it for all sorts of stuff. So rather than having to print different boxes, they have the sticker. That makes sense. But it's a beautiful print. It's PETG. All right, it's off of Bamboo Lab. A little quick disclosure, we'll tell you that. But this is a woman who, okay, I don't want to be offensive, but spring chicken is not the word I would describe. All right, she's not as old as me. All right, definitely not as old as me. But here I am doing it. I'm 57, and I've got my print farm, my print ranch over there going just fine, and anybody can be doing this. All right. In fact, let me show you right now, right online. This is people doing similar stuff to what she's doing, and you could be doing this as well. All right, this is on eBay right now. Stackable 38 special ammo boxes right here. These are all 3D printed. Here's somebody doing 2.2 long rifle. Great little cases. They're screw top lids. You take what you need to go out for the day. Just throw it in your bag there. $25 each. For those who don't know, you often buy that size ammo in large boxes and stuff like that. And so having just what you need to take for the day is really convenient. So that's where that makes sense. And of course, they're reusable. And there's this one, $23 for a box like that. This little 9mm one. She had ones like this where the box itself was actually shaped like a case. It was really cute. $10 on that. Here's somebody who's selling the actual files. For $300, you get the files for all of these, and you can download them and print and sell them yourselves. And I'm not going to link to them because I don't know anything about, whether they actually own the rights to this. There are people I've seen who they'll download somebody else's information and then they'll sell it as their own. So I don't know about that, but I'm just saying it's out there. There's places you can find it. I like this one. These are inserts into a regular large ammo can, so you can take your own ammo and fix it into a steel ammo can if you want that. And there's, as I said, there's all sorts of other solutions out there. Now, this is her Facebook page. She doesn't even have a website. She doesn't have Instagram or any of that stuff. She's got a Facebook page, all right? Because why? She's in the middle of nowhere, Montana. You think I'm in a small town? She's in a smaller town in the middle of nowhere, Montana. She's got 5.1 thousand followers. And she's, it's Reagan, Rocky Mountain Reagan. That's her page. And we'll just go through it real quick. All right. This is just her Facebook page where she gets all her business from. She's got a nice little, I love this. She's showing you right up front how she makes these boxes. She's got a P1S and an X1C. And, and she acted embarrassed when she told me she had the P1S. She's like, I'm like, it's okay. I get it. I have, most of my ranch is P1Ss. I've got 9 of them. I totally understand. These are workhorse machines. She's like, yes, they just keep running and running and running. Now think about it. She's doing 3 lids there. That's the same size as the box. So she's doing 100, I worked out, she said they were doing 3 hours for a whole box. So she can do, I think capacity of one machine is 128. So she's at near capacity. Actually, at about 50% capacity right now, just over 50% between the 2 machines. But she uses the X1C for all the prototyping and stuff like that and just has the P1S just running and running and running. But anyway, so she shows you right there how she makes these. Here's another client that's decided to, they want her to put their logos on their boxes. More showing exactly how she's showing you right there how she does this. And look at the multicolors. If you're going after the women out there, they like the pink boxes and stuff like that. There's a friend of hers she's calling out. Just all sorts of great stuff. She had some purple ones too. Let's see if I can find the purple ones here. Anyway, There's some of the tchotchke stuff that she makes just for fun, and she has there. And she's printing them on. Now, Bamboo, of course, has discontinued the X1C, and the P2S has replaced it. It's got all of the features and capability of the X1C and more. So if you're looking for that, this is what you're looking at, $800 for the PS2 combo. That's with the AMS. But as she said, she uses the P1S for most of her production. You can get started with that for $550, but let's be honest. And I love this. I think this is right now the best workhorse purchase production machine that you could buy now. But you could get started with an A1 Mini because you're just doing these little boxes. You could start with something as simple as this and pay it off in a week. Pay it off in a week, all right? If you're making $5 per box, 100 boxes a week, and there's tons of stuff you could be doing. And I just want to be clear. You're going to make excuses. I can hear you right now making excuses. But I want to give you a movie quote, so bear with me. He made this in a cave out of scraps. Put the movie down below. Fun fact, that dude who said that is actually one of my neighbors. But anyway, I love boxes too. And I had a viewer send me a box that he uses to do like screw. He had it all segmented and stuff, and he keeps like different screws and stuff in it, and that's this box. Great little box. And instead of having like this box here has, and she said, she fully admits she didn't design this. She does some modifications to it, but she bought the files. She went out and bought the files, paid a little bit extra for the rights so she could sell them to other people, and turn that into a business. She does this in the middle of nowhere, Montana. What's your excuse? One problem I have with this box, the clasp, you have to really double up the walls on this. I probably want to do like 5 wall on this so that because it's a live edge. Live edge means it doesn't actually have a hinge. It just flexes. So that's where you get that nice click when you shut it. But eventually that's going to die if you open this enough. So the opposite of that is to use something that actually has a hinge. All right, this has hinged pieces on it. Let me get my face out of the way so it would actually focus. So hinged pieces. And these actually snap in and out. They have little detents on the edges, and that just snaps in there and then locks in. Holds it in just fine. There we go. And we open this up and give you a little, didn't even use color. Single color, just a nice little recess. It's subtle. I like subtlety. All right, I don't need it to be in your face. We'll open this up, and you get, for those of you who don't know what it is, that's silver. All right, I collect silver Morgans. These are vintage, all of them well over 100 years. Silver Morgans, some of them more collectible than others. Yes, I have an 8-tail in here. I have all sorts of mints. I don't have a Carson City yet. I don't have a Carson City. All right. So, I collect stuff like this, and I've got usually like tubes and stuff like this. These are silver quarters, anything made pre-1964. Dimes, quarters, dollars are all silver. Now, nickels, there's a different year for nickels. I don't do nickels, but I do the other stuff, often referred to as constitutional silver. So I'm going to be doing another box that I can do for all my quarters and stuff, and rather than these little tubes. I don't know, the tubes are probably fine. I don't do that much with the regular constitutional. I mainly stick to Morgans. It's what I know the most, but that's my thing. But tell me, you've seen these you may not go, but you've seen these advertisements for shows, Coins and Collectibles show this weekend at the blah, blah, blah. You go to those places are packed. You tell me I couldn't buy a table for $100, stack up, 100 of these, sell them for $10 each. It cost me $2 to make, and not walk away with a mint. People would buy this by the droves. Collectors would buy these. Dealers would buy these. Stackers would buy these. It's good for everybody. All right, and you can come up with different modifications. Now mine, I have this set up so that it's, let me get one of the other ones here so I can show you one that's not quite all the way full. So these are built in place, all right? But there's nothing saying I couldn't shell this out and have this as a drop-in insert and have different inserts for different coins. And I could go to the show with a bunch of boxes and then the different inserts and which box do you want? And I could then sell the inserts for an extra $2 each. the means for production. If Reagan in nowhere, Montana could do this, I don't want to hear any more excuses. You could do it. You could start off with an ender. You could buy a used one off of Facebook and tune it up and get started and use the proceeds for that to buy a better one. What do you think Reagan's doing? What do you think I did? I made my print ranch build itself. All right? I bought, okay, I cheated. I started with, I think I started with one that was given to me. All right, bought from Bamboo. I had the X1C. But all the P1Ss I bought, all 9 of them, and some other stuff, okay? So I bought the one, and then those, I bought 2 more, and then I bought another one, and then I started buying 3 at a time, and I'm honestly thinking about buying a whole nother rack, 6 more. I probably want to do it before they run out of these. $550, you can buy one P1S. 1 week of selling boxes could pay that off. And you could do it you could go every weekend, you could do a different craft fair. You could start this off as a side business. You find yourself a couple companies that need boxes for their products. You partner with them, you give them a little wholesale deal. That becomes your regular 50% of your workflow. And then you sell the onesie twosies at full price at the shows. This is how it's done. That's why we're here. That's why I'm the 3D print rancher, because we're out there ranching, making money, bringing money back, because these work while I sleep. They're my proletariat. And yes, I will abuse their little clanker souls. I'll put links down below. Leave a question or a comment. I will respond. If you want to have a deeper discussion on how you can start ranching, put it down below. You can even email me. I'm not selling a course. Maybe I should. Do you want me to sell a course? But that's not what I'm here for. I'm just trying to help elevate you, because I'm living the good life, because I worked my butt off. I invested in myself, and I've built a business for myself and my family, and I'm trying to take it to the next level. And so should you. If you like what we do here, chomp the old like button, smash that subscribe, ring the bell on the way out. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.